What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with an NIO statistical and raw price action thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could join ARCab, a trading community. Description below actually shows the details for that, you guys. With that said, let's get started. Okay, you guys, so we are looking at the weekly chart for NIO right here. So a couple things to note. It looks like we have used the wedge support. So what we're looking at for the new viewers is descending broadening wedge. Now this wedge is in the macro scale and it is a signal of a reversal upcoming. So we do have 3 tests of the resistance confirmed, and the 4th would essentially be the breakout before continuation to the upside, right, you guys? So just real fast so that you guys can be able to see what kind of price action we're looking at. We can use the weekly time frame to see just what that is. Now you can see that we are at about $9.67 right now, which is the previous week's candle resistance right over here, you guys. So now as we rose to the top right here, you can actually see that we use the opening of the candle as a form of resistance as well. So the price action that's happening within this area is definitely not random, you guys. Now let's move on to the daily and take a look at something very interesting within the price action here, you guys. And we're going to actually zoom out so that you can see what's going on. Now, this is the entire life of NIO stock. Now, as you can see right over here, we have this massive gap with a range of 943 to 1045, a whole dollar, right? And right over here, we did have another gap, but the weekly closure that we got recently with this candle covered, actually the price action all entirely here covered this entire gap, and we covered this next gap to a certain point though. So the candle stopped right over here, which is the support of our wedge, and it used it to cover some of this gap right here, you guys. But the price stopping at this wedge isn't random either. So if you can just zoom in here and take a look, you'll see just how relevant this support was. You can see right here, these candles right over here, we're using this as a resistance right here. You can see right here, we're touching right there, we're touching right over there, we're using this as support right here. So you can see just how relevant this support is, you guys. So we're talking about 2018 over here, you guys. This is you can see the date right down here. So when we point at it, so you can see right there, that's August 24th, 2018. So this is definitely an inflection point, you guys. A very key support and resistance previously touched and previously used. So just know that the price action that's happening is not random for NIO stock, you guys. And we are currently using these daily candles have used these areas of support from our historical touches. You can see that this candle right now has used this bottom of support from this candle right over here from the gap. So this is important for us to take a look at and know our position before we make any trades or any decisions, you guys. So we are doing these indecision type candles, and I imagine it's based on the macroeconomic updates that we're going to be getting. So for example, the FOMC on Wednesday, we have jobs on Friday. I think CPI is next week. So we're looking at indecisive price action likely based on those events coming up. Let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we got. This is going to be our statistical side of the analysis, you guys. So we are looking at volatility represented by this indicator BBWP. Volatility is direction neutral, you guys. So if we start falling on the BBWP, price action doesn't necessarily have to go down; it can go up as well, and vice versa. So what we do to gain a bias in direction for volatility is pair it with momentum. In this case, it would be a volatility versus momentum signature. So I need you to notice something very, very distinct in this setup here. So you can see that we're fully expanded here at critical highs above the 90 percentile, and we are currently at historic lows right down here. And I mean historic because this is the entire trading the entire trading life of NIO stock. We have never touched this area below. So we are currently reversing from this historic low, and the stochastics momentum or the momentum oscillator suggesting a continuation to the upside while the volatility is starting to disperse. So this is a very bullish statement that NIO stock is doing here, you guys. Something big is potentially on its way, and it's suggesting thus far the upside. Now, what we do want is that we start retracing from the 90 percentile. You can tell with these metrics over here when I fall. So you can see that if we can start moving below the 90 percentile, having the volatility component of this indicator along with the moving average pivoted towards the downside with the momentum oscillator facing towards the upside, we can see a very volatile move towards the upside. So we can see some momentous price action here, you guys. Now, here are the metrics based on every time we have reversed from critical expansive highs, you guys. I've taken note of every single iteration that has happened, and but this is a back test done by hand, you guys, so that I can be able to provide it for you guys. So we have a total of 5 iterations where we have moved to the upside from starting the contraction phase from these critical highs and having the momentum suggest the upside. So we have a total of 5 iterations. Out of those 5, 4 have been correct. And that gives us an 80% upside accuracy with an average upside thrust of 257.53% over the span of about 84 and a quarter days. So you guys, this is proof of work. Know that these metrics are statistical and they are not certainties. So that we're using them so that we can be able to gauge a mathematical mean so that we can see desired targets or targets for us to look out for. So if we were to apply the 257.53% to the upside, you can see that it actually can take us to a very, very interesting level. This is the 1.618 Fibonacci ratio, which is usually where humans like to take the trade. So it's very interesting that it would take us to this level right over here, you guys. So we have a resistance now, and that resistance is very, very much used, and it's previously touched and tested. Look at this candle right here, you guys, touching right at the bottom of that. This candle right here, using this as a form of support. This is all support right here. This is resistance. Look at this, you guys. We are trading. Look at this candle closure right here. Man. This is incredible, you guys. So I mean, the fact that it's also an inflection point or a key resistance it's enormous, you guys. So in doing this 257% move to the upside, it would indicate closing this gap as well, which is, this is a psychological component as well to this trade. So that's what the statistics are reading, you guys. So this is generally how I trade. I trade based on stats, back test. I trust the data. So now let's move on to the next chart and try to gauge bias and direction, you guys. So we had called 2. Actually, these, let me see. Yeah, this drive was a phantom drive of bullish divergence, and this is bullish divergence right over here. And you can see that by making a lower low in a price action and making lower high in the RSI signal. So we also did call hidden bearish divergence right over here. And the hidden bearish divergence definitely played out, you guys. So after calling these bullish divergences, we did get the move to the upside to attempt in covering this gap range, but we're still short about 6 cents of covering it. So that's another thing important to be able to notice here, you guys. And since that, the price action did move towards the downside. Please notice right here that the RSI is not, it's barely suggesting an upside. It's within the border of the bearish. This is a bear strength percentile, and this is bear weakness. We have bull weakness and bull strength. We have, we have an overall zone called the bullish control zone and an overall zone down here called the bearish control zone. So the indecision is likely to the catalyst that I'm talking about here, you guys. If we were to look at the 30-minute time frame RSI and see what kind of bias that can give us. Okay, so we are pivoted towards the upside. The moving average is above us, which is bearish, and it's suggesting a move towards the downside. Another thing is that we're in the shallow areas of either weakness percentile from bulls and the bears. So this can indicate a potential sideways trading right here, you guys, for the immediate short term. 15 minutes should be suggesting similarly. Okay, so yeah, we're suggesting an upside continuation, primed to make a bullish cross above the moving average, but still within this shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile. This is suggesting as well sideways trading here, you guys. Let's look at the buy hourly and see if we got something there. Sideways trading, man. Okay, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Please take whatever I do show in these videos as a form of entertainment. I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any asset. But when I start to see these types of indecisions in the indicators, along with price action, look at this, you guys. We barely have any pivot towards any direction. I don't recommend for a trading position. It would be better for us to sit in the sidelines, right? So let's move on to the last part of this this chart right here, you guys. So what we're looking at here are two separate indicators. This is one and this is another. This is called the ARC Enhanced MACD, and this is the ARC Trend Line. So these indicators are actually in partnership with myself and Crypstex Trading. They are a very smart group of coders that have partnered with me in creating some custom indicators used for momentum style, day trade style, scalp style trades for us to be able to see. Now, if I were to just remove most of the indicator, you can see that it looks almost random. But if I put it on, trend line helps us understand what direction we're actually moving in. And if you can pair this along with something like the ARC Enhanced MACD, you have bear and bull signals. So if you will, these can be buy and sell signals based on trend and the moving average divergence from the MACD. So we still have a bear signal right here, you guys. And look at this pivot. It's in accordance to what we're talking about in indecision. It's not pivoted towards the downside like that. It's suggesting sideways trading. However, it isn't a bear signal. So we're looking at some sideways traction for some sideways price action. Sorry, for NIO stock in the at least until these macroeconomic catalysts are complete, you guys. But this would be a good place for me to leave the video, you guys. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Discord, on Twitter. The links will be right in the description below for you guys to join the ARCab trading community. And yeah. But with that said, you guys, I will leave it here and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.